it's out of fashion. You think, oh, everyone's on to the next thing, and then it's going to take us another 10, 15 years to catch up again. I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Kara? Do you agree with that?
Well, do you think they are basically putting their ducks in a row so that they can make money from it or try and figure out a way to make money from it
Well, yeah, but they're
before?
so slow. I mean, we always seem to be the last country to do anything. And then, like I say, by the time we actually get round to it and it becomes commonplace, from my point of view, I just think, oh, that's the old news now. And then obviously the UK government says, oh, you UK citizens, you're lazy, you don't want to work, you don't have no interest in business, you don't want to do anything, you're not innovative. You think, well, that's not true, because I've seen loads of companies and businesses, and especially, the young startups and, Tech Valley and all that, the equivalent of Silicon Valley, all of them, they want to do new things, and they've got ideas, and they've got the passion to try things, and they want to, obviously with new business comes new opportunities and new jobs. But because they end up having to go abroad because, the UK and government and investors always say no because they're scared, then they obviously, when they go abroad, don't they end up taking those potential jobs and creative ideas and obviously any technology, they take it with them. So that means, there's less jobs for people to have here in the UK.
Well, does the UK have the same problem that we complain about here in the United States, where it seems like the work is being outsourced to different countries as opposed to getting people here in the United States doing the work? Is it the same thing in the UK?
Yeah, Cameron, please don't get me started on that, because people, if you know me at Ask-Avani-Show on Twitter, you know I have gone on and on about things like, okay, I'm just going to name and shame companies like BT. Okay, they have been doing it for years, and everybody in the UK who knows, BT is our, British Telecom, one of our most famous telecoms companies. They have been outsourcing their call center staff and jobs for years, and they send it to places like India. And I'm not being funny. The time you take to send it to India, you could just, if you really don't want to build another, call center and employ people in the UK in the call center. As you guys know, I have a bee in my bonnet also about working from home. Why don't you just employ people to work from home? Hello, the technology is here now. You've got no excuse. It really frustrates me, because I'm thinking, okay, we're going to be in an even bigger hole now because of, Brexit. Hello, people. If you haven't heard about Brexit, where have you been? Hello. It's coming. Okay. It's going to be triggered. They're saying they're going to trigger it. It's been on the news. They're going to trigger it finally. The government saying they're going to finally trigger it. The Article 50, which is like the beginning of the process.
Right.
They're going to trigger that by the end of March. Hello, we are in March. So by the end of this month, March 2017, the UK government has said that they are going to trigger that. So that means we are really on the way out now. Okay, so I'm not being funny, but I reckon the citizens of the UK out there, people, one and all, you need to start taking notice. You've got to sit up, take notice, because we don't know what the future's going to hold. And obviously we've had people trying to scare us and say, loads of jobs are going. And I've seen it again on the news this week about how more companies are starting to say, oh, well, we're going to have to lose jobs, 500 there and 1,500 somewhere else. And you think, oh, that's a lot, because it's starting to be like how it was when it was the recession. Every day you were hearing about hundreds and thousands of jobs just going. They started closing down all these plants and all manufacturing. But I'm not being funny, because you think, oh, hold on, manufacturing, technology, finance, agriculture, these apparently are the lifeblood of a country's economy. So if the government's going to neglect the issues around these things, around underachievement and growth in that business sector, don't you think we're going to be in trouble?
Well, why, and maybe we can't answer this question, but why are they already talking about losing jobs and cutting jobs?
Yeah, because they always say that, especially if a company has a headquarters in this country, for example, that headquarters, they're planning on moving it because they don't like how things are progressing with Brexit. And they're like, oh, well, we can't stay here because you're going to tighten your rules. And if you're not part of the European Union, then it's going to make us doing business in your country harder, which means that we want to save money and we want to have cheaper labour. So we're going to take our headquarters, for example, and all the work that was there, we're going to move it abroad, or we're just going to shut down operations working with you, and we're going to go and find new markets, which obviously means it just cuts out all the UK workers, isn't it?
Well, it goes back to the same thing. Everything you just said revolves around a company being profitable and making money past what is good for the people, is my concern. Because I think a major corporation can make money and employ people in their own country And it would be better for them to do that as opposed to farming it out to these other countries. That irritates me.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, okay, people, I know people out there are laughing at me, but trust me, when you get to know me, I am a little cookie, but I'm also very on the money. I have realized this because obviously I live here, so I'm not being funny, but I was so worried. Okay, I've even created a petition, K-Rose. This is how it has to be for people because I can't take it no more. Link 1, K-Rose. I had to do it. I created this petition on the UK government website, so all UK residents and citizens, you can sign this. Okay, all you got to do is put your name and your postal address and your email. That's it. It takes seconds to do because basically I'm asking the government to implement a universal basic income scheme. I say again, universal basic income scheme, because I'm worried about what the economy, not just here in the UK, but around the world, is going to look like going forward. And I'm just sitting there thinking, okay.
Born Entertainment, B.O. Records, Nocturnal 7. Here we go. No money from the boogie down the legend. This time go down. Oh.
I ain't the only one alive with bills. I ain't the only one who caught 6 years and 5 for pills. Been crazy all year. Tough guys yapping away. Yet soft like baby doll hair. I'm used to plain speed. Got all the same needs. That's why the cops call him the rap Dwayne Reed. I'm a depot for blow. Capone with chrome. And it's all going wrong. Come on.
Good subconscious is the key to your soul. It keeps you sane and your mind's on your go.
Here we go. Here we go.
I have made mistakes along the way, but I know there's a long way to go. So I say, got a lot to learn. Time waits for nothing. Don't you worry. I'm not the only one. Don't
Here we go.
There's a border over which I know. If I crossed it, I would lose my soul. Came so close, my life was leaving me behind. I thought my children passed me by, while others were on and roll. My life stood still, and it showed.
Hey, it's K Rose, and we're back. Again, Avani and I, we do this live. So for all those people who think this is like created for the people that think we're sitting next to each other, we've had a crazy morning, and we had the gremlins kicking in, but they kicked in big time. But we're back now. And I know we were talking about, before we were interrupted, the fact
so
that so rudely interrupted.
The internet can be rude. No, we shouldn't blame it on the internet.
No,
this
this wasn't internet.
Was it?
No, I think this was a Skype-ish thing. So, but anyway, not letting it stress me out, not letting it bother me. But
we on point. We back, people.
We back, and we're talking about companies that outsource and do things that the companies that are doing things for profit to the extreme is what I call it. The people that are stockholders or owners of the company make the money, but they don't care about the little people that either work for them or the other people in the country. All they want to do is make money for themselves.
Yeah, but without the workers, you have no company, because those are the ones that are helping you to actually fulfill, for example, the orders or do the services. So people, I know, and I'm going to say this again before we were so rudely interrupted by that little incident. But yes, I have a petition, K-Rose, and this is important because I have been posting this out all over creation. Okay, link 1, please. We have got to share Saturday, as I like to call it. We have to do it. It's my petition, and it's asking the UK government to provide all citizens with a guaranteed monthly income. I know that people have heard about this universal basic income concept around the world. I know you guys flirted with it a while back in, because Martin Luther King has even spoken about this in the past, So people don't think that is something that my crazy brain has cooked up. No. This is, something that, in fact, when I did my research apparently they actually used to do this concept quite a while ago in America, and then they stopped. And then, people went back into poverty again. And the reason why I'm so passionate about it is because obviously, even over here on the news as well, they are finally starting to realize that people are really struggling, financially. And then this generation of children, especially, is growing up in poverty. And the reason why I get so stressed about it is because I grew up that way. And I'm thinking, hold on, it's like history is repeating itself again and again and again. And I'm like, nah, why? We have got to have this discussion, and unfortunately, my petition can only be signed by the UK residents and citizens. So I do apologise for that. But 100,000 signatures will get it considered for debate in the UK Parliament. People, I must stress that. So please, wherever you see me posting out this link, because I have been crazy about it, as K-Rose knows, because I have put it out there. Please sign it, residents and citizens. If you live in the UK and you're a citizen of the UK, you can sign this. It will take you seconds to do. More and more people are cottoning on to this because they're realizing that. I know I've spoken about it before, K-Rose, haven't I? And you laughed at me because you thought I was crazy. But I'm serious because they even want to do it in France because we're going to share about that too, okay? And the reason why I think this approach will incentivize the UK government to take a hard look at this is because public money is being wasted, and this is true. And I want them to think about how they spend it because, yes, as I just said, a lot more citizens are suffering because of the way things are done. And I think that a basic income will guarantee that it will alleviate the suffering of people struggling to keep a roof over their head, buy food. I've been there, so I know what this is like. You can't pay the bills. And I'm talking about the essential bills, K-Rose. I ain't talking about nothing fancy. We're just talking about electric, gas, heating, water. These are the things that you need to survive, right? Okay, you ain't trying to do nothing fancy, are you?
You're just trying to breathe.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not being funny, even though we all know that, the minimum wage is supposed to keep people out of poverty. I'm not being funny, but a lot of jobs now, and as I've got a lot more to share, these are supposed to help people to be able to live above the poverty line, but people are still struggling to make ends meet. And that's when they've been killing themselves working 50, 60 plus hours a week. And it's like, when you're on the hamster wheel going nowhere, I'm not even going to say nowhere fast. I'm just going to say going nowhere. Okay, even prime minister, our current prime minister has coined the phrase "the jams," as in just about managing. I've mentioned that before again, but it's true. People, please, you've got to sign this link. Got to go to the link and sign a petition because, I like to have my say on social media, K-Rose.
You really said that.
Yeah, I do, and just a tad, I just kind of like to every now and again, regularly. Anyway,
yeah, exactly.
Link free, K-Rose, please, link free. We have got to do it because I'm not being funny, right? As you are, I like to have my say on social media. And okay, well, how about this? People are going to ask, who's going to pay for universal basic income? And they're going to say, it'll be people who are working, okay? But everyone is putting money in because even now, whatever you're doing, you have to pay taxes, innit?
Yep.
Right? So as far as I'm concerned, if everyone's putting money in, then obviously everyone should be getting money out. And if you have a universal basic income, as the clue is in the name, hello, basic. It's just that, basic. So basically, it's not like, we're going to be able to say, well, you can just sit at home and don't do nothing, which is what, I'm not being funny, but some people do that now, because of the way that the benefit system is here in the UK. Obviously they're trying to clamp down on that. I've told you about this before.
But that's an excuse to me. I think there are people that cheat the system. Wealthy people cheat the system as well as poor people, but they try and make it seem like only poor people, and most of the poor people are cheating, which is not correct. And so they don't want to provide services and provide things because they want to supposedly the deficit and all this other crap that they come up with.
I tell you why there's a deficit, right? Because haven't you noticed, and I've said this before, when they want to go to war, okay,